Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's good to see all of you here again. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single one of you. It is 3 a.m. here in Singapore, but you know what? I'm still awake because this project keeps me passionate with my earnings. And every day I'm just looking at all the transactions coming through, and it's unbelievable. I purchase steps, and you know even that grows to a higher amount, even though I put in money and then I see that money come back in again. So it's like auto magic. Auto magic. So I don't know, if you're sleeping on this program, then what are you doing? Come out of your rock and join Tron today. It's only $25 to start. It's an incredibly low buy-in price. Even if you go to the casino, you have to change $1,000 just to buy some poker chips. So incredibly easy way for you to make money, and incredibly inexpensive way to start as well. So I can see you guys joining already, and I'll just mute the doorbell so I don't get distracted, and I will present the presentation. Right, okay, so hope you guys can see this. Welcome to the live Tron webinar every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, 8 p.m. UK time. So glad to see all of you. This program is 100% decentralized, no central party that holds your funds. It runs on the Tron token, ticker TRX, and it runs on a smart contract. So it's powered by smart contracts, which are line codes. Okay, so why this platform runs on Tron? I'm sure all of you who are in crypto, you know Bitcoin, you know USDT, Ethereum, and these are like the stable coins, the ones that everyone knows. The reason why we're using Tron is because it's inexpensive. First of all, it's inexpensive, and also the transfers per second, or TPS, it's almost 2,000 times faster than Ethereum and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin came out in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto, we all know that era when it first came out, when the first Bitcoins were mined, that was known as the Satoshi era. And since then, 6 years after Bitcoin, Ethereum was launched. The technology for Ethereum is a lot faster. And in 2018, Tron was built on top of the Ethereum blockchain as a separate entity. So now it runs on the TRC20 network, and that makes it almost 700 times faster than Bitcoin and 80 times faster than Ethereum. Okay, it is one of the top 10 biggest cryptocurrencies by market cap and top 20 by trading volume. There is a difference, market cap and trading volume, but the reason why it's increasing in trading volume is also because a lot of other smart contract platforms out there are using Tron. So there are a lot of competitors in the space, but because these platforms are all using Tron, the price of Tron is obviously going to appreciate in the long term. Require Tron to hold on to it for future price appreciation, and that is why we're using Tron. Okay, it was founded in Singapore in 2018, founded by this guy called Justin Sun. He is on the Forbes 30 and the 30. I don't know how many of you here are under 30. I'm under 30. You have to be somebody to be on the Forbes 30 and the 30. He was the student of Jack Ma. Everyone knows Jack Ma. He's the guy who started Alibaba, the factory of the world, but all the supplies come from that part of the world. So someone who's insanely connected, he started this in Singapore, and it runs on its own TRC20 network. So how this platform works is, first, it's run on Tron, and second, it's run on a smart contract. So smart contracts are lines of code that is deployed by a developer, and once it's written and once it's set out into the wild, it can never be changed. So we liken it to Moses receiving the 10 commandments from God, when God wrote the 10 commandments on stone, and then he said, Moses, take this and go forth, live your life according to these 10 rules. And those 10 rules were never changed. So in the same way, the smart contract, once it's written, you can never change the code. So some people ask, can you go in and, say take a profit of it? Say like I put in 1% and I put it in a central fund or another account that goes to the founders, that goes to the development team, that goes to the people at the very top. I assure you, if there's something like that in the system, this program wouldn't have had all the leaders on board today. It wouldn't have the synergy it has today. It would have shut down in like maybe the first 5 days or something. But because there's none of that, because it's extremely transparent and it's fair, people are coming on board this platform because they see the beauty in it. So this platform is transparent because you can go into the public ledger. It's called Tron Scan, and the public ledger is essentially what the Tron blockchain is based on. So you can go in and verify your buy, your sell, your swap, your transfer. Every time your Tron is transferred to the smart contract, you can always verify these transactions on the blockchain. The blockchain is just a public ledger. So it's like vouching 101. You can do it in real time on your computer. You don't have to go through an audit office. But there is an audit report prepared that we have prepared just for people who request it, and if you ever want it, it's ready. It's also anonymous because no one can ever know whose account it belongs to. So if I don't tell you my ID, you will never know who it belongs to. So in that way, your anonymity is protected. It's 100% decentralized, so there's no founder, there's no holding company that holds your funds. We've seen tons of platforms where, the coin goes to ICO, and after the ICO, the coin crashes. And not just in crypto. If you do a public listing, your shares are kind of tied in that listing because as a shareholder, you gotta keep 7 months of consecutive profit before you can actually sell your shares. So in the same way, there's always a centralized source. There's always a centralized holding company that's holding you back from liquidating any of your funds. In this platform, everything goes straight to your Tron wallet. There's no central party that holds your funds. There's no one to take a cut or a commission from you. So once you buy your packages and once you start referring people in, all the earnings is entirely yours. So in that way, I believe this platform is completely risk-free. Perhaps the only risk you'll encounter is a currency fluctuation risk, very minimal. The price of Tron is fluctuating by a few decimal points. It's insignificant amount, and one risk a lot of companies face is the key man risk. And a key man risk is if the founder decides to leave, and without the founder, the company can't run. So in the same way, the smart contract has already been deployed. So you don't need a website for this program to run. You can actually buy Tron on the smart contract itself, but the website is just there to make your user interface experience a lot better. This platform also runs on a peer-to-peer system, so it's between peers. So it's between me, you, and everyone else in your community, and it's built with leaders bringing in their downlines, built with leaders bringing in people to come on board this platform to grow the business together. Commissions will be paid directly and instantly to your wallet. So again, there's only 2 things you need to do, which is to download your wallet and acquire Tron before you start Ezytrx. So it's incredibly simple. All your payments will be made in Tron. It is not a shitcoin that we created. It's not an artificial token. Again, Tron is top 10 and top 20 by trading volume and market cap. So it's very simple, and it's also the first ever smart contract of its kind. All the lines of code, if you ever bring the code to an IT guy or an IT developer, you can always verify and you can always check. Okay, there's no owner. There is a founder. He's the creator. His name is Nicholas D. Cruz. You can always go to our YouTube and look back on all our videos. And I know he hates being called the founder, but he's the guy who put together everyone. He's the guy who found all the networkers, all the leaders, all the people to build this business together. Even the marketing team. There's also no withdrawal fees. Oh, but then one point I want to make is, it's not like he's profiting like 1%, 2%, 3% of a side margin from your earnings. He makes the same way as everyone else in the system. He buys his packages and he refers people. So I see how hard he works, and it's the same way. It's a very fair system. In a way, it's like a true democracy. In this platform, there's also no withdrawal fees, so the only fee that you ever need to pay is a gas fee. It's very inexpensive. I always leave a small margin of 10 Tron, which is about 25 cents. It's a very small amount whenever you do a transfer from an exchange and a transfer to the smart contract. So it's very minimal, and it's all you ever need to pay. So earn Tron fast and risk-free. So on this platform, there's two ways that you can make money, and one of my colleagues actually said that when you buy the steps, it's like buying a ticket into the game, and once you buy that ticket is burned. So it was quite funny. I thought that was quite clever. So some people ask, is it like stocks? Can I buy in and then can I liquidate my capital if I decide to liquidate? It's not like that, because once you purchase the steps, the funds that you use to purchase the steps is actually distributed into the matrix. So once you purchase Ezy1, which is the first engine, which is the direct referral engine, then Ezy10, which is the matrix engine, also automatically gets activated. So the very first buy-in price is 1,000 Tron, the very first step, and then it goes in sequence. So it's 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and so on till 1,000,000 Tron. And of course, because the price of Tron today is about 25 cents, if you buy 1,000 Tron, that's about $25 US, very low buy-in price. And if you decide to buy the first 5 steps, it's about $1,200 US, today's price. So everything has to be bought in order, and once you purchase one, then both get activated at the same time. Of course, you can imagine that there will be a lot of people sitting here at the lowest step and a lot less people sitting at the very top. Okay, so again, remember the ticket that you buy in, and then once you buy in, it gets burned. So I thought that was so funny. So once you enter, 50% of that goes to your upline. So when you buy 1,000 Tron step, 50% of the direct referral goes to your upline or the person who refers you in. The other 50% gets distributed into the matrix or Ezy10. Okay, Ezy10 is the forced 3x10 matrix that goes from top to bottom, left to right. Top to bottom meaning it goes from your upline to your downline, and then the 3 people under you. So left to right. Okay, so Ezy1, 50% goes to your upline, and whenever you purchase the steps, your network under you always gets activated, and they will always follow you in all the steps, regardless of not whether you acquire the higher steps. So if I buy up to 5,000 Tron, and someone below me, say Nate, he buys the 10,000 step, he will always follow me, even though he has purchased the higher step. And some platforms out there, they don't actually offer this special highlight. So it's something I really want to bring out. So here, let me do some math for you guys. Let's just say I come in at 1,000 Tron and purchase the very first step, and then I bring Nate in, who also buys 1,000 Tron, and just from that one direct referral, I get 50% of that, or 500 Tron. So 500 Tron goes into my wallet, or sorry, rather it goes to my back office, and then it goes to my wallet. Excuse me. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, who was that? Sharing your screen, so rude. I'm presenting. Okay, and then Nate decides to buy the next step of 2,000 Tron. And because I haven't purchased the next step, I will lose out on certain earnings because Nate bought the step before me. In a lot of other platforms out there, you don't actually profit off your downline who upgrades faster than you. So in those platforms, I won't say what or who, you kind of lose out on the earning. Here, you actually get a lesser earning, but you still get something. So you will actually make 25% if your downline upgrades before you do. However, if I was smart and if I had the funds to do so, I would actually have bought maybe the first 3 steps before Nate buys the next 3 steps. So I could have actually made 4,000 Tron if I bought the first 3 steps and then brought Nate in, who also buys 3 steps. If not, then I would have made about 2,250 only. So you can see the benefits in upgrading, you can see the benefits in referring people. And of course, this is compiled, so whenever I bring someone in, I also get the 5% on the matrix. Okay, so EZ10 is the matrix, and again, it goes from top to bottom, left to right. It's a force matrix. If we don't have this word force, then people will kind of start a riot because they'll say it's not fair. How can I put you under so and so? You know, so it's automatic. It's just based on the smart contract, and everyone will follow you regardless of what step you buy. So there are 10 levels in the matrix, and it goes in multiples of 3. So in level 1, there's 3 people, level 2, 9 people, level 3, 27 people, and so on to the very bottom of more than 59,000 people. So in each step, there's more than 88,000 people that you can actually fill in just one step. So can you imagine the total business volume you can reach just by filling up your matrix with 88,000 people? That's an incredible sum. Okay, so once you imagine you have filled up your entire matrix with 88,000 people, you are in this platform for a really long time, and you have finally reached that 88,000 people, and you can see the earning potential of EZ10 it runs in the millions. So if you just fill up one step, like one matrix in one step, you can actually make 4.4 million Tron. And if you fill up all the 5 steps and all the 10 levels, then you can make 168.2 million Tron. That's an incredible number. So someone go and convert this number back to USD and go and tell me what that figure is. I'm sure it's a really huge amount. There's also a function called upgrade, and every time you make 10 times of what you have put in, then you can upgrade. So earlier today on the Hindi call, we actually saw some accounts that brought no one in, brought 0 people in, super lazy, didn't want to refer a single person, but they still make money from the matrix. So this guy, he bought the first step of 1,000 Tron, and because his upline was a powerful networker, his matrix actually filled to more than 1,000 people, and he actually made 10,000 Tron already just from the matrix. Unfortunately for him, he kind of lost his private keys, but that's a separate issue that he needs to solve on his own. But can you imagine that if you're in a matrix that kind of fills up on its own, then you can actually reach that kind of amount. So he made 10,000 Tron already just from being there. But of course, that's not something that we wanna encourage. We wanna encourage people to bring more people in, of course, and to build a business together, because this is actually running on a franchise model where we liken it to owning a restaurant. You open a restaurant, you open a new bar at Holland Village, and you gotta have new customers, right? You gotta invite your friends, and then your friends invite their friends, and you gotta spend a little bit on marketing and push the word out to get people to come in. You can't just rely on foot traffic. So word of mouth, Facebook marketing especially, it's super cheap now to just run your own ads. Get people to come aboard, and whenever they sign in, you get 50% plus the 5% from the matrix. So every time you reach 10 times of what you have put in already, then you can upgrade. So what upgrading does is just it removes the earning cap that's placed on you. So it's just something that you have to take responsibility for, something that you have to remember to log into the system and upgrade on your own, so that the earning cap on your account is removed. Once you purchase all the 10 steps and you have made 10 times, then your earning potential is completely removed. So you don't have to do anything else, and all the earnings is unlimited. So upgrading only happens if you hit 10 times, and once you purchase all 10 steps plus 10 times, then all your earning cap is removed. In a few days, the website will be launched. Actually, not in a few days, it's tomorrow already. So tomorrow we have something very special lined up for you. Tons of new people and something very special. So I hope to see all of you guys on tomorrow's call with the founder. But before that, I want to mention about the payments. So payments will be made directly to your Tron wallet. So we have some tutorials on YouTube that teaches you how to download Tron Link and Token Pocket. So it's either you're on desktop or on mobile, totally up to you, depending on your convenience. And no one to hold your funds, no one to authorize your payments. Everything goes straight to your wallet. Auto magic, like I said, everything will be paid out in Tron. If you don't want to keep it in Tron, you can always convert it. And because there's no KYC, so KYC is know your customer. If you ever sign up for a bank product, you will know what this is. They'll ask you for a bunch of documents, your address, your ID, your passport, your everything, your marriage status, everything they need. But this platform, no KYC, so no one to store any of your personal information. The only KYC that you ever need to do is if you buy some Tron or you buy some Bitcoin from an exchange such as Binance. The world's largest is Binance. I always recommend this for the international crowd. If you're in the Chinese markets, then you have your own. The Chinese use this exchange called Fi. It is the biggest one in China. And in your own local markets, of course, you have your own, like Philippines, you have Coin Philippines, and in Ukraine, you have Admin Elite, and so on. But for myself, I use Binance. And what you can do is just buy some Bitcoin, Ethereum, or USDT, buy it on the exchange, swap it, and then put it on Tron Link or Token Pocket. So if you're on desktop, look for Tron Link. If you're on mobile, use Token Pocket. If you are a little bit more advanced, then you can syndicate Tron wallet to Token Pocket, so it's much faster. Some markets, like the African markets, love to do this syndication. Otherwise, just focus on Token Pocket. It will be the easiest for you. Okay, once you're in, don't forget to look for the DApp browser. I should add a line here that says DApp. DApp just means decentralized application. Don't access it on your browser. Don't access it on your Chrome or your Safari on your mobile phone. Use the DApp browser in Token Pocket. This is essential for the smart contract to run. Okay, once you're done with that, then once you start earning Tron, you can always convert it back to USDT or fiat or your own country's currency. Okay, if you ever need tutorials, we have our YouTube channel. It is Ezytrx Official. I know we have tons of lookalikes, but this is the official one, Ezytrx Official. We have about 50 videos on the channel already. This is my channel. I'm Mrs. Lilac on YouTube. I make some other side videos that you can see, like the behind the scenes and some tutorials that I've made on my own, such as this one. This is the Binance tutorial how to acquire Tron using a debit credit card, bank transfer, peer-to-peer method, and the exchange that I'm recommending is Binance. Okay, also tons of tutorials on the YouTube channels. It's all cross-posted. How to sign up on mobile, how to sign up on Tron Link, and how to sign up and upgrade on desktop. Yep, so I even upgraded just for the tutorial. You guys are so lucky. Alright, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. I'll just stop the share. Tonight I have a special guest. I can see him already. Let me just bring him on. Hi Ken.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
What would you like me to share?
Okay guys, this is Ken. This is Ken from Canada. He's one of the top leaders in Ezytron, and he's been in networking for almost 20 plus years. That's a long time. That's like the span of my life that you've been networking. So I mean, obviously, if there's anyone who understands this networking business, it is him. Tell us a little bit more about how you got started in crypto and how you got started in networking.
Sure. It's a very interesting concept, because back in around 2010, when Bitcoin started establishing some sort of value to the tokens, I had a friend of mine who approached me, and this is back when Bitcoin wasn't worth a lot of money at that point, or hadn't much value. And I still remember this because he offered to sell me 10,000 Bitcoin for $10,000. So back then I thought to myself, back in 2010, I thought, wow, that's, I had the money and so forth, but my concern was that, is this thing really real? Is it going to have any value one day? Or or am I just passing money freely away to
Were
a
you
friend?
one of those people who bought pizza with Bitcoin?
So I said no to this friend of mine. I said, he said, Bitcoin, I think at that time it was like about 20 cents, 25 cents.
Yeah.
And he says, and I said, well, how much are you going to charge me? Because you need to pay me $1 each for the Bitcoin. I thought, well, why am I paying 4 times the market rate of this for this alleged coin that's going to be worth something one day? It's going to have some value. And he said to me, because it's hard to get, you don't know how to do it, and I can show you how to set up the wallet and everything else. And crazy me, like most people, I laughed at him. I said, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I'd rather keep the $10,000 in my pocket rather than your pocket. And obviously, the rest is history, where Bitcoin is now. So I was fortunate that in around late 2015, Bitcoin was probably around $250 a token at that point. I really started jumping on around mid 2016, summer of 2016. So at that time, it was running around $700 a token. So I got in fairly early, but obviously not early enough. At the same time, where crypto is headed and so forth, I think there's a huge upside. It's definitely the future of money. And here's one thing I do, and Lisa, you'll understand this, because a lot of people, I see different information circulating around the crypto world. You get Goldman Sachs and some of these investment banks out of the US saying, you know what? Guess what's going on right now? Young people, they're buying Bitcoin, but the older established people, they're buying gold. They're buying gold and silver and precious metals. And when I hear that, the first thing I think about is that, okay, you want to lure everybody away into gold and silver. Meanwhile, you're backing up the loader and filling up your containers full of Bitcoin. And so I truly always have believed that I look at the younger generation, the millennials. What are they getting into? Because that is the future. And so we have it right now. Crypto obviously is at a whole different level now than it was even a few years ago, and it's about to get much better. So, of course, coming out of all that are these smart contracts, which really came into really, I wouldn't say existence, but came into popularity this year in 2020, just months before COVID. Mm-hmm. So we have a very unique platform here. I'll tell you one thing I really like about this. And what we have here in Ezytrx, Tron, is you're protected. In a smart contract, I'm not sure if any of you folks realize this, you're protected because there's no middleman, no admin, no CEO, that you're at their mercy about whether or not you should get paid for the work you've done. And that's been the biggest challenge for most people who come from a network background like myself. We've been involved in companies at the inception, help them build it, and in fact, what tends to happen, a lot of people don't realize, is that when you're working with a company, any new company in the very beginning, be it in networking or the traditional workspace, is that you are seen as an asset to that company, because when they don't have a lot of sales, they don't have a lot of assets, they don't have a lot of money, you are very valuable to them. But when you get to a certain point that you help the company become very successful, all of a sudden, perhaps you're a salesperson for them, you're their top salesperson, all of a sudden now they're paying you a lot of money. Then what tends to happen is that you get jealousy. A lot of middle management are whispering in the owner's ears, hey, we're paying this guy too much. How come we're paying this? And people tend to forget that, all the work you did to help you get to where they were. And so now, even though you put in the work and spent in time putting your life towards this company, you're also at the mercy of this person's whimsical nature. And if he or she decides that, we're paying you too much.
What I feel like this is a real story.
What was that?
Like something happened to you.
Something happened to me? I'm telling you, this is exactly what happened to me. I've been with companies before where I actually been in a situation where I helped the company go from nothing into something huge. And then all of a sudden the owners decide, we're paying you too much. Of course, they don't tell you that in the very beginning. They start changing the rules and so forth. And so the beauty about this program is that, guess what? You get paid when you put in the work. And that's what's really beautiful about this, because I don't have to worry about someone deciding what I'm worth if I actually put in the work, what I should get paid or not get paid, it's all taken care of right here, right? So that's one of the main things I like it. And the other thing is just all the different aspects of this smart contract and where, what's available to a person when they get involved. So I just think it's a perfect opportunity, business, I guess you could call it, to get involved with. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Ken. Well, I'm happy to be here too, and I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I see some familiar faces on the call as well. Anybody want to join me? Hey, Aisha. Crypto Diamond. Lisa, I can see you. Hey, Aisha. You want to join in?
Hi, good evening everyone. Very nice to hear the story from Ken. And seriously, I know Bitcoin when it was $100. First, as a layperson, one sec, आवाज कम करना है, हाँ, बंद कर देना. As a layperson, I was just exploring some online businesses. I came across BitClub network. So I just filled up that form registration, and they asked me to pay through Bitcoins. Then I scratched my head, what is this? That time one Bitcoin was $100. My God, I just left that form as it is. And later, after 2 years, I have joined BitClub network as an investor. That time it was $1,000. I said 10 times, my goodness. And now see, it is again 10 times from then. 11 times, 12 times. So, yes, we should understand the things.
I also want to point out that the tools to access crypto is a lot easier now. The barrier for entry is a lot lower, so it's easier for people. Like the tools are available. I remember Coinbase only started in like 2014 or 2015, and then Binance only started in 2017. It was like 3 years ago.
Yes.
So get into crypto is incredibly easier right now.
Yes.
So don't sleep on it. It's the future. Ken said what old people are getting into gold. I mean, gold has always been there. Young people are saying, Bitcoin is like digital gold. It's like
exactly, and I have very strong feeling in my heart. Something similar to going to repeat with Tron as well, because I have bought my first Tron at 0.3 cents in 2018 January. You must be knowing it was expensive that time. So I was crazy, behind Tron, and it was like hero. It was in lead role that time. So it might go up. We have all the chances, and we might remember the same story about Tron as well.
Yeah, and I believe Tron is it's stable. It was founded by someone credible. It has its credibility, and it's founded in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's impartial. I have to be impartial, but it is founded in Singapore. That's assurance for me already.
Chances are there.
Licensed somewhere in Malta in some European country.
So we are always in win-win situation when we earn Tron. Yes. And this thing, we were waiting for this Lion share will come, its Tron's project will come, then Forsage Gold will come. Everything came and went. There. But now it's, one thing is for sure. That Ezytron is the only one who is increasing day by day. They're decreasing. And we were not in fast speed like day one, we were 10,000. Gradually we are increasing, and this is not called bubble, this is called real growth. So very happy to be part of such a beautiful system.
Let me just give you guys like a tour of the back office. I know in like a few days, or not a few days, but actually tomorrow we're gonna have a launch of the new website redesign, and
amazing.
That's what see it. But let me just show you some stats. We've got all here. Some people want to see the back office. Okay, so this is ID number 1. You can see that this platform has already 13,000 people. It has 500 people, 547 people have joined in the last 24 hours. So you can see that every day there's new people joining in. This ticker refreshes every 24 hours, and $2.1 million in US dollars in earnings already. So you can see, people are still joining in the platform. There's leaders from all around the world. We have global leaders from every market, and I know not all the markets use Zoom. Some of them are still privy to face-to-face interactions. Like, I know some Chinese leaders have been organizing their own Chinese Chinese offline meetings, not on Zoom. And I'm happy to see like people joining in. I'm happy to see the business grow. Yeah, this is amazing. I also see Brian. Brian, are you on the call? Are you here? You want to hop in? I'll just stop the share. Hey, what's up? Unmute yourself. Unmute. You have to unmute.
Okay, how you doing? How everybody doing today?
What's up?
All right, that's in. Boy, excellent presentation, Ken. I love it, man. I wish I was there with you when you did that. But you guys, we have an awesome platform. Everything is really running at a great pace, and we enjoying it. We enjoying what we're doing. Everyone's making money, and then the whole thing is just really exploding, and we just at the beginning. So let's keep pushing, everybody. Keep pushing like y'all doing, and come to these meetings. Support these 3 meetings that they have, and whoever your team leader is, if they doing Zoom, support their meetings as well, and invite. Keep building, and then everybody's dreams will come true very quickly with this. Our team have a mission to get to $1 million by the 1st of December, and we pushing hard to get there. And everyone's working hard, so let's just increase the magnitude if we can all have a great Christmas this year.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you're doing an excellent job as well. So we love the marketing and stuff that you do, and so let's keep it up.
Starting to look a lot like Christmas.
So that's
Okay. Okay, thank y'all for that testimony. And like I said, you've been doing an excellent job. You know, we all, like I say, one team, one dream, and we
Hey, Brian, why don't I get Dr. K to say a few words on this? And let's
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
Take over.
it wouldn't let me unmute before, but I'm unmuted now. Hello, everyone.
Yes. How you doing?
Yes, I'm Bernice. This is my first time working in an opportunity with Brian. I met him through some of my friends in Texas, and when I saw the opportunity, it was a no-brainer for me because I missed an opportunity myself years ago with Bitcoin. So I promised myself if I ever saw another opportunity that would allow me to possibly make some serious income, I was not going to miss it this time. And all we have to do is just, like Alton said, we have to follow what Brian tells us to do. And he's proven to us and shown us many times how he has had success. So I'm going to do what he tells me to do, and I expect success. So I think we're our team. I'm so proud of our team. Our team is doing really, really good because they're doing the same thing. They're doing what Brian is telling them to do, and I want everybody to know on my team, follow the leader, and our leader is Brian. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
Bernice.
Thank you for the words. I'm gonna pass it back to Lilac.
Next, I want to bring someone under Ken. He's Ken's guest.
yes.
Dr. K.
Dr. K is a chiropractor, an experienced networker, a brother from a different mother, and he's based in Florida. So, Dr. K, are you on right now? Can you say a few words? Can you share some wisdom and why you got involved with us here in Ezytrx?
Yes, thank you, Ken. Thank you, everybody. I am very excited about the opportunity that it came out. I've been in the networking way from Amway days, and then went to the crypto world when what's their name? The Bitcoin was 14 cents every Bitcoin. I had $10,000 to put in there. My friend told me, you better do it now. I said, I have to think about it, just like Ken said. Well, guess what? I missed it. And he bought 347,000 Bitcoins. And he's a retired billionaire right now. And I missed it. And I know I learned the lesson. So a few years later, I ran into Ken, a great leader. I am very coachable as a leader, and I have a million Asian in my downline from a previous company that's still running, and unfortunately there's no money we can take out. When I saw this with Ken, and he took me, we learned some lessons from a couple of them. I saw the vision of this company. When I saw a week ago, I speak 27 languages in my team, so we need different languages. And every day we're putting a different group of people. I am from Jordan originally, went to Canada, became Canadian. I'm in the United States, Florida. So I've been around the world, to Australia and around different places. So I saw a lot of people that really looking for an opportunity, especially now with COVID and with the virus. People losing jobs. People need something where they don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from the comfort of your home and people have enough money to start with 1,000 Tron at 2.6 cents. It's a good deal, guys. I'm telling you, because in 3, 4 months, 6 months from now, you would say the same thing like I said. I wish I did. So follow your leaders, follow your instincts. And I'm glad that Ken introduced me to Jenny, a great leader, and Eric, a great leader from Europe. So we have the whole world. And Mrs. Lilac, I believe, first time I meet her. She's very nice, and thank you for the presentation. And you can see the power of networking with leaders like these guys. Just follow the lead. Don't be a smart aleck. Learn the lesson. And I did. Thank you, guys. I cannot thank you enough for what you are bringing to the world to save the world and their wealth.
Thank you, Dr. K. Nice meeting you for the first time.
Lilac,
Yeah?
can I bring one of the very young guy from Nigeria?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What's his name?
He just joined and he doesn't understand the first time, and when he saw this smart contract he read about and his blowout, I need to share his own experience. Paul, Paulzn, can you please make him unmute? Paul Consult. Paul, are you there? Can you just, if you search on the bar and make him a host? Hey Paul, can you unmute yourself and please share your experience? Welcome on board, buddy.
Hello, Paul, are you there?
Okay, I think maybe he's driving. Leave it then, don't worry.
Yo, let me bring on this guy called Mick.
Yes, Mick is a good friend of mine. I met Mick back, oh gosh, this is crazy. This is 24 years ago, back in 1996 on an MLM cruise. And Mick's been a good friend. He's been corporate. He's been on the distributor side. Probably I call him the Wikipedia of the MLM industry. And he's also involved with us here in Ezytrx. So good friend of mine and a brother in the networking world. And someone, honestly, that I look up to, probably one of the most knowledgeable people that I know in the space. So Mick, come on, say a few words. Share some of your wisdom. What are your thoughts are in terms of this smart contract platform? And we've seen a lot of stuff out there. So what are your thoughts?
Well, as you know, I don't look at things typical, and so what I would say is I may say something today that you've never heard, and so I hope you process it first before you make a judgment about it. I personally love the 3x10 on the back end, on the lower, or whatever you want to call it, and I think that there's a lot of these smart contracts are doing a disservice by not having a matrix there. But you guys may have experienced something where somebody that you enrolled 6 hours later calls you back and says, "Where's my spillover?" And and it's a very unrealistic expectation, especially for a new company that's starting out. Typically, spillover doesn't really happen until you've got major momentum, and so. So as you're bringing people in, I think you need to create that expectation that you're placing yourself for a big wave that's coming on. And, look at how many people on this Zoom here that are shooting for $1 million by the end of the year. Well, the reality is that those guys, not one of those people said that I'm waiting for spillover to make me my million. And that the reality is that I'm going to say it different than what they said, but it's the same exact message. They're not waiting for spillover. They're not looking for spillover. They're creating spillover. And so I think the important message that I would like to deliver is twofold. Number one is that when you're talking to your prospects or whatever, you're looking for the people that several of them I'm going to paraphrase, are going to do whatever it takes. And those are the people that you're looking for. Those are the people that are going to work 8 to faint. Those are the people that are going to create spillover. And that's the test that you're going to give, is that right today, it's so important that I think that you really have to qualify the people that you're talking to, and that you're not going to give them that preferred real estate high up in your matrix for them to sit there and do nothing. That's your best real estate. And unfortunately, with so many of the comp plans, the binaries, or even the matrices, it's just like real estate. Many times the secret to success is those 3 magic words. And those 3 magic words are location, location, and location. And so you've got prime location in your organization. And if you give it to somebody that's not going to engage, that's not dedicated to creating spillover, you just devalued your location in your organization. And so I want to make sure that everybody understands that. And so when somebody brings up spillover in your conversation, and as Ken knows, I can be misinterpreted as being rude, okay? Because I said, and Brian, I'm going to pick on you, not that you said anything wrong, but you're sitting here next to my picture. So I'm going to sit there and say, oh my gosh, Brian, I got confused. I really thought that you were somebody that was going to create spillover, was not going to sit around and wait for spillover. So I apologize. This isn't for you right now. And, I apologize that I misread you. I'm sorry I wasted your time. And then exit, do the takeaway, exit from the conversation, and then see if Brian or whomever, your prospect, might change their tune and come at you with a whole new mindset. So if you accept what I'm saying, that you're not recruiting people that are looking for spillover, you're going to enroll people that are going to create spillover. Then the second thing is that you're going to really reposition where the 3x10 really is, okay? And the 3x10, the way I look at it, and Ken's heard me, as I was pitching a prospect, and I was using Ken to do a 2-on-1 with me, I position the 3x10 as a retirement matrix, okay? It's not the primary source of income. When you first start a job and you interview, do you want to know how much they're going to pay you for your job, for your efforts, for your work? Or do you want to know exactly what your retirement fund is like? And you don't even care what they're going to pay you up front. You're only worried about your retirement fund. No, you're going to worry about what they're going to pay you today. And years later, then the retirement fund comes into play and it becomes significant. And now you start studying every Friday. You want to know how did the portfolio work, or whatever, where your retirement fund is. In my opinion, this is just my humble opinion, you've got to look at the 3x10 in the exact same way. It's going to pay you today. It's going to pay you tomorrow. That's nothing compared to what it's going to pay you many months, if not years down the road. Because as you remember, who's upgraded, who's not upgraded, somebody comes in for a bigger package, the differential rolls up, and Ken's already did a very educational webinar showing people that this really isn't even a 3x10 retirement matrix. It pays much deeper, and it pays all the time. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. Any given day, you could have one or an unlimited number of events happening. A new person coming in, somebody that upgrades, somebody that is not even in your line of sponsorship, but they get rolled under you, and then they come in for a big package, and between you and them, there's nobody with the big package or packages, and so you get all those bonuses if you have upgraded. So you can see the beautiful thing is, and the reason why I call it a retirement matrix is because it's going to be paying you. You remember, a smart contract is for in perpetuity, and you got to remember, forgive me, Ken, but I believe that you're mislabeling Nicholas. He's not an owner, he's a founder, because the smart contract is ours, okay? It's our entire community. We own it now. Somebody may have launched it, somebody may have created it, somebody may even be managing it. That's none of us on this call. But in the end, this is ours. It doesn't stop. And so who knows, years, months, whenever, that some event happens, it's down in your retirement matrix, and you immediately get paid. And so you're going to have this constant revenue source coming up at you. And so, but that's down the road. Don't talk about, that's a vision for the future. Today is worrying about your front end, because your front end is bringing in the people that are going to that you're looking for. They're going to create spillover, not wait for spillover. And that's what's going to end up exploding your retirement matrix. And that's where you're going to all of a sudden, when you see what Ken mapped out the other night, you're going to see and understand how valuable your real estate is, how valuable those locations are in your first 4 or 5 generations in the retirement matrix. And so you don't want to just give those away. I'm not going to go help my daughter, or I'm not going to help my son-in-law, or whatever, that are not going to go to work and that are expecting a free lunch because I've spoiled my kids my entire life as a parent. And so now is the time to reward the people that are ready to go to work, support them, leverage your upline, and make sure that I'm sorry, Ken. It's just, this is how I look at it, and I just wanted to share with all of you folks a paradigm. And you can accept my paradigm or reject my paradigm, but I feel it would be a disservice for you at least not to know my paradigm. So Ken, thanks for having me. And I'm sorry, the gal.
Yeah, no, you're great. This is what people need to hear, and I think it's really important for those to understand that we're here to work with each other, to lock arms. We're here to build a dynasty here together, and building a dynasty doesn't mean always going after the weakest link. You know what I mean? And so we are trying to set ourselves up in such a way that not only are we helping ourselves, but we're helping everybody who's coming on board with us in this platform. And you can really do that by coming from a position of strength and supporting those and teaching those and coaching those to do this the very same, rather than just looking for a body. You know, I mean, you've heard some of us who've been in networking for a long time before. And they're looking for, and a lot of people when they're sponsoring and recruiting people, they're looking for someone who can just fog a mirror. Okay, you're in, right? We want more than just that. I mean, we're gonna have those people who can just fog a mirror and nothing else, and that's okay too. But that's probably not the best thing to do right in the very beginning when we're building this network out right now. So I think Brian and some of you can also will concur with me on that. We're looking for some quality people and helping them to work with us to provide, to create the spillover rather than asking for the spillover. And I think, to Mick's point, that is probably the biggest thing that I've heard in the smart contract platform space in general. I've seen it in other programs where the first thing people ask is, what's the lowest amount I can get in for? And by the way, what can I get my spillover? That's the first thing people ask. And that's just not the right attitude to have or to come in with. And so thank you, Mick, for sharing that. Appreciate it. And
thanks, Mick.
This is it. We're doing the right thing. We're on the right path.
Yeah, wow. Mick, I've never met you before, but from what you said, like, I was actually listening, Sounds like you really passionate about what you were saying. Hello to Texas, wherever you are. The flag in your little room, that's the Texas flag, yeah? Can hear you, unmute yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, obviously I am from Texas.
Hello.
So, I know that there was a gal that was on here from Texas. There may be several other people from Texas on the call or on the Zoom.
Yeah, we hardly see anyone put like the flag on the back.
Yeah.
Unless you're like in a beauty pageant and then you flag, That's where I see.
So, excuse me, I'll bring some brevity and some humor for the Zoom. Before I had the Texas flag, I would try to break the ice with humor, and so I would always have Pee-wee sitting on behind me on my shoulder, and then somebody actually accused me of being a pedophile. So Pee-wee went out of the way, and the Texas flag went up. So
it's funny.
But
why would anyone say that?
Yeah, I typically I certainly try not to take myself too serious. The thing that I love about this profession is that, I get to make it fun every single day. And I'm just like Ken, where, I love helping people and working with people. And, if you don't know this about Ken, but he's spoken on stages all around the world about just that, about how, somebody from basically